known him for a very long time, and he was there on the day of my wedding with Susie and I getting married in an electric blue tuxedo, lighting up the crowd there at my wedding like he did in Dallas all those Hall of Fame years. My compadre from NFL Game Day Morning tonight on TNF Game Day, getting set for Thursday Night Football between the Falcons and the Saints. Also on NFL Game Day Final. Also on Inside the NFL. What do you not do, Michael Irvin? Thank you for taking the time to come in here.
I appreciate you having me here, man.
Yeah.
Rich, number 90. Now, why do you have a number 90, the Michigan over there? You know,
yeah.
That
was my year I graduated, so that's why I was number 9. It's not because I can, go after the quarterback. I don't have a swim move.
Or, you always stand up for punters, because sometimes punters like a 90. A 90 number, you know what I mean?
I stand up for punters.
That would be a cool punter.
That
would be a cool punting.
So, real quick, because everyone's talking about it, this Jose Batista bat flip, you're traveling all the time. You just saw it in the commercial break for the first time. Do you have any issue with that last night?
You know, the backdrop of it is this is not something this guy does and everything. And sometimes, man, when you have worked all your life and thought about that moment, what will I do in that moment, and you make such a moment like this, it's not something you can really predict. You're just having an emotional moment, you know, and your body reacts to it. So I don't have an issue to it. And I do believe that's one of the things we do always fall back to. It puts everybody in a trap. Like, say, well, do you want the kids to see this? You know, that's where we always go. And there's a lot of things we don't want the kids to see. And but then it gives you a moment to sit down and explain to the kid exactly what happened there. You know, not that this guy always does it, but he just lost in a moment. Now, if it was a guy like me, and you let me catch that 3rd and 8, and I get up and do that right, then you can tell the kid, now see there, that kid, that guy's right there is different. He always does that.
Yeah.
But I do it, really, not necessarily to put anyone down. I always did it to bring the best out of me. You know, it was more emotional to bring the best out of me.
Were you ever concerned that you might be showing up your opponent by doing that?
I couldn't be more concerned with that than winning Super Bowls with my teammates and my family. You know what I mean? It's not about, honestly, it's not about making anyone feel bad, but it is about making you feel bad for these next 60 minutes. You know what I'm saying? My job is to win the football game, and you are trying to stop me from doing my job. I got to do whatever it takes to make me at my best, and actually what it takes to make you at your worst.
Michael Irvin here in studio with me before tonight's Thursday Night Football game between the Falcons and the Saints on NFL Network and CBS. What do you make of the Cowboy changes right now that's going on, that shuffling of the deck that Garrett's going through in the bye week?
I thought they were needed in a great time to do them, because I thought what the Cowboys have seen here, even in this 3-game stretch, certainly those first 2 games before New England, is that we could have won both of those games in this situation. And I know it, and Rich, I've said this and I'm going to say it here, because I've really been disturbed with it. You know, when they make a comment, which is our job to comment on people on the football field and what they do on the football field. You know, I make a comment on Greg Hardy and the way he played. And if the Cowboys had Greg Hardy, those 2 games prior to this Patriot game, they would have won those games. And I said, man, Greg Hardy can give your team a little hope right now. You make some changes on offense, you got a chance to win some games. Oh, my God, I've been getting killed on Twitter and all this stuff, man. And my daughter reads that stuff. So, I was like, that's so unjust and unfair to say somebody, like I advocate for domestic violence because I was doing my job talking about someone's football ability or someone's sign ability for the Dallas Cowboys. I just think that's so off base. But that's what it is. But the Cowboys, I thought the moves were, I thought they were right.
Meaning Castle?
Especially Castle. Now, not that he played poorly, horrible, your boy Weed, but it's just you needed something else. You needed something else. You had 3 games of this. And Weed he's old in years, but young in experience. And Castle, who's a little bit older than Weed, but he has more experience. And you just need, maybe his experience with the young guys can help. But to have the young experience and the young experienced wide receiver quarterbacks, That's hurting the Cowboys.
No, but look, I know you personally and for a very, very long time, and I know you don't advocate domestic violence whatsoever. You're just talking about the football acumen of Greg Hardy.
Right, and people go off about that.
Well, but people also have a problem, and Terry Bradshaw said it on national TV last week, that if somebody does or is accused to of what Hardy's doing, then the Cowboys should just stay away from him.
Yeah.
Sacking the passer does not nearly rise to the standard of importance as to try and use the bully pulpit of the National Football League to send a message. And I think that's what people are having conflicts about.
Right, I understand
Cowboys
that. I understand that. And I'm telling you, tweet Jerry Jones. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
You.
Not me.
Did your daughter have, get
well,
did I hear your daughter was getting threatened or something like that? Or did that happen or that did not happen?
No, don't get me put in trouble. Don't make me.
I just want to make sure.
Hunt people up.
No, I just want to make sure.
My baby on that, but no, and it's just a bad situation all around. That's what I'm saying. Tweet Jerry Jones on making the decision. But when the decision comes to us, we got to talk about what happens on the football field and assess what's going on the football field. Tweet the Roger Goodells and those guys, not me.
I've got Michael Irvin right here on the Rich Eisen Show. So who is the best team right now? Who would you say right now?
Oh, New England. Oh,
right.
New England. Man, New England. Whew, you see that, man. New England. And I'm going to tell you what else, too, man. I think we're watching, Rich. We're watching the age and where the tight end is becoming almost the best weapon on the field. And New England got the best weapon out there in Gronk. And they use him in so many great ways. I mean, it's phenomenal what they do. It really is.
And they're having shut down press conferences this week where they're not taking any cheese, they're not taking any bait. Tom Brady was accused yesterday of being a robot by the media to try and shake him loose from the answer that I'm sure they're all giving right now. Behind the scenes, though, what do you think's happening? What do you think's happening this week with Brady and the Patriots taking on the Colts?
We've seen time and time again. We've seen the kind of fight that this dude has in him. I always say it this way. We all saw the Tom Brady picture, right, when he was at the Combine. Now, anybody that has the fight in him to turn that body into this kind of a career, you don't want to fight. You see what I'm saying? You saw that body, and he's turned it into that kind of a career. Mm-hmm. You don't want to mess with that dude right there. That dude got something special in him. And yes, you better believe there's going to be something extra in him in this situation. And I think the Cowboys game showed that early when they were a little flat. I guarantee you they were thinking about beating down on Indy.
You think so?
What? Please, they'll never say it, but trust me, we have the same kind of fight in us. Trust me, he was.
Did you ever have a game like that where you were called out or something had happened by your opponent had done something to you that you thought was potentially career-threatening or personal, and then you really wanted to lay it on them the next time you saw them? Did you ever have something like that?
Yeah, I'm not to this level, and not to this degree. I really haven't, and it's amazing. It really is, because Tom has been exemplary, and then to go through what he went through, and to be fighting back like he fights back. That's what I love about football. I love what happens on the football field, but I love the stories around what's happening on the football fields. Like the kind of fight this guy has in him. You know what I mean? And no matter what you put in front of him, he comes back and he's fight backs and he wins. I love watching that, and you better believe this is on his mind.
Michael Irvin is here in the Rich Eisen Show studio. We're back in just 60 ticks to the clock. More with Irv before we get you to the meeting on time.
Yeah,
I will not make you late for that meeting, okay?
I get to work.
You got it. The show meeting is coming up very shortly for this man. We got to get him in his car up the road. One more segment with Michael Irvin when we come back. Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. Michael Irvin here in studio. You know Lamar Odom? You know
yes,
Lamar?
I met Lamar Odom a few times. Met him a few times. This is
horrible. This is horrible what's going on right now.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's sad. It's interesting. When someone goes through something like this, you really see how he's touched other people. And to see the outpour from the people that are just, worried about Lamar. It really is. It's sad he's going through what he's going through, and touching to see that.
Do you think he knew that or knows that? I hate to talk about him in the past tense right now, but everything they read, how difficult it, if he is going through such tough times, to know how many people do care about you that perhaps that should help you avoid the type of circumstances that might lead to this, Irv.
Yeah, but, he's obviously, and I can tell you from experience, my own self, he's in a fight. The fight that he's in, he's battling the two people, the people that everyone knows the best Lamar Odom is and everything, and that other person that keeps calling him to this controlled substance, So, yeah, you see it, but you're battling it. And a lot of times, that's why they call it a controlled substance. It wins the battle. It wins the battle. But I just think it's been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal to watch the people that come out and are praying for him and are pulling for him. And I hope he pulls through so he can really benefit from it.
Me too. I've got Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. The Broncos and Seahawks offensive issues, which one concerns you more long-term right now?
Oh, well, the Broncos. Well, the Seahawks. There's something about certain players that bring an attitude to a team, I know Rawls ran well the other day, but Marshawn Lynch brings an attitude. Being in Seattle brings an attitude to a team. They'll play well. You win your 8 games at home, you split on the road, you got a 12-4 record. You're doing great.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And they'll have the opportunity. But the Broncos, a little bit different. That's a little different because we're hoping that Peyton is in one way and we're hoping to save him for for postseason and all of that. But you don't know what's going to happen in postseason. I don't know how fixable that is.
Why? Just because of Father Time? Is it just that simple?
It's just the reality of life. Yeah, it's Father Time. It catches up to everybody. Now, the good thing about what Peyton has is that beast over there that can go up and get balls and everything, just pull down balls so they don't have to make the accurate throw. But you can see it, man. And it's different watching games, Peyton in this mode, than the Peyton we've seen for so long.
His entire career.
Yeah.
His entire career.
His entire career. And everybody, I don't care how great you think you are, everybody loses to Father Time.
But and is this a situation that perhaps, he can gear it up when the weather gets cold, or when the weather gets cold, it's going to get worse, in your estimation?
And they're trying to save in the tank for that.
Right.
And that's what I'm telling you, in this game, that's the hardest thing in the world to do, is to try to save, like we're going to save in the tank. Chan Gailey said that to me when he had me on the bench, back in '99, and I was like, oh my God, this doesn't work, because it gets me out the rhythm. And Peyton's already out of rhythm in his mind, and he needs to be doing his thing to get back in the rhythm. So yeah, I don't necessarily know. I don't believe in that necessarily.
Okay, at the top of the hour, you've got a TNF game day show meeting, and I cannot make you late for it. That would be bad news for me,
Rich,
for you. We got to get
Rich,
you.
you got your name on 2 buildings. Your name's on the building over here, and your name's on the building over there.
I did not see the name of it over there.
All I gotta say is I got a pass from Rich. There's nothing they can do. Rich, give me a pass to get back in class.
That's nothing you can do. So the 90 ticks I have left, what happens tonight? What happens tonight? Atlanta goes 6-0? New Orleans?
Atlanta goes 6-0. Now, I remember at the time there was a consideration saying New Orleans can really win this game, especially with it being in New Orleans. But I think Atlanta now is far superior. They find ways to win games.
Does Julio look hurt to you, though? I mean,
he's a little banged up. He does look a little banged up, a little hammy, and he plays with such fire. So, yeah, and the way he has tailed off the last couple games.
Yeah, he looks a little limited out there.
Yeah, a little limited.
Okay.
But having him out there after that start is a necessity, because we need a point of reference. They don't know you're limited, Julio. Just sit out there and keep 2 people over there, and I can try to win games with these other people.
Yeah, I was talking about that with Eric Davis. I'm like, don't they have their eyes on him to see how he's different? And he goes, well, you know who also has eyes? Is the guys who have to line up across from him, and they don't want to be beaten. They never know what's going to happen once the ball is snapped and 11 comes at them.
They can't risk that he really may be healthy, thinking that he's not healthy, and he runs right by him.
Irv, thanks for coming in.
Hey,
really
thank you for coming, man. Thank you for having me.
No, anytime. Please come back.
This is cool, man. This is real cool. This is big time stuff, man.
I appreciate
it. A little Johnny Carson.
I appreciate that. And when I come up the 405 later to do TNF Game Day, point to me where my name is on the building over there. Go ahead and point to me, because I don't see it. I don't see my name's not on the building over there.
Okay, well, let me just say this, Rich. You just said it. I'm going to the meeting, and when you come over later. What does that mean? I gotta go. Rich will get there when he gets there. That's what that means, man.
No.
I just want y'all to understand the truth, man, around here. I need the truth to be told. Rich is running 2 buildings, this one and that one.
I do the meetings on Wednesday. I go up there. I do it the day before you. I do it the day before you. You're the best, Irv. God bless.
Funny.
You are the best, Irv, at Michael Irvin 88 on Twitter.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.